What's up everyone, this is JG, and today we're talking about Pramanix the Prerita, henceforth known as Pramanix Alter. For this video, I'm not going to do a full walkthrough of her kit, I'm just going to help you answer that eternal question, should I roll for Pramanix Alter? Let me break down the top arguments for and against Pramanix. Let's start with the negatives. Number 1, Phalanx casters are a weird archetype with some weird weaknesses. They're very similar to Liberator guards. When their skill is off, they don't really do anything. They make up for it by hitting quite hard when their skill is on. But Moinar, for example, costs 12 DP to deploy, while Pramanix Alter costs 24. That's a lot of DP to invest in a unit that is bringing almost nothing for some period of time after deployment. Since you have to be comfortable with those times where she's doing nothing, you generally have to have all your lanes locked down and 24 DP to spare before you can risk deploying her. This means that while she might look great when she's active, her time until active can be a lot higher than for other units. The second weakness is that skill 2 is largely a gimmick. There are some videos out there showing her soloing levels with skill 2. These are mostly fakes. Skill 2 takes 45 seconds after deployment to charge up. That's a long time to wait before she brings much utility to the field. These videos had to manage the first minute of the map with other units before they cut to Pramanix handling the end of the level. That's not what soloing means. While this skill is pretty solid once it gets going, that first 45 seconds has the weaknesses of Phalanx casters on full display. This skill also lets you freeze the objective point, which is a weird new mechanic. The frozen cube is pretty tanky, roughly on par with Hoshiguma for defensive stats, but generally you don't want to let enemies get that close to the objective. It might be a helpful insurance policy, but since this skill takes so long to get started, Pramanix is not really a lane holder you can rely on. These factors combined lead us to weakness number 3. Pramanix isn't a great everyday use operator. You might bring her in for a tough level once you know the level's waves and layout, but her high cost and high downtime make her a risky operator for unknown content. For the same reason, she's a bad pull in integrated strategies, because you can't afford to manage around her weaknesses through the whole run, especially below E2. So those are the top reasons not to love Pramanix Alter. What are the things she's good at? Number 1, her S3 is pretty incredible. It power creeps Logos' S3 in every dimension. It has 25% higher DPS per target. It hits all targets in range instead of just 4. They both ignore 10 res. She has a range that's 3 tiles larger and slightly higher uptime. And that DPS only counts her attacks, not the impact of her snowfall, because I haven't yet decided how to model it. Plus, this skill includes the lure mechanic that is amazing for stalling bosses, and helps hold big units within range of her skill so she can maximize her damage against them. Of all the units I modeled, Moinar and Mantra are really the only ones that can exceed her AoE nuking potential. This skill is great, and at Mastery 3, the first cycle is ready in a phenomenal 8 seconds. That significantly reduces the Phalanx caster downsides for at least her first skill cycle. Her second key strength is her snowfall effect. It functions as essentially a passive movement reduction aura. While she's primarily an AoE nuker, she bundles some of the strengths of a D-cell binder for free. That's roll compression. She brings 2 capabilities in 1 slot. The snowfall can also deal damage, even while her skill is off. That's another way that she reduces the weaknesses of her archetype. I'll need to play with this for longer to decide just how reliable it is in real-world scenarios. Currently, it looks to me like this is a helpful perk, not a transformative strength. It's unimpacted by stun, freeze, or attack speed reduction, which in a few places can be very valuable. Third, she's quite tanky for a caster. She has good defense and HP, with even more when she's between skill cycles, and her second talent debuffs attackers, plus revives her the first time she dies. She won't go down without a fight. So overall, where does that leave us? I think I'm gonna have to go with S- on this one. Her nuke potential is so strong that I can't really go below S rank here. Her S3 is amazing and with good uptime. But I think that the awkwardness of Phalanx casters makes her a risky pick as your default caster, which leaves you still wishing you had another S rank caster. Her snowfall helps to add off-cycle utility, but I'm unsure if it's reliable enough to close the gap. If it's better than I'm giving it credit for, I'd give her an S. Please like and subscribe if you like my analysis, and let me know in the comments if your experience with Pramanix Alter feels different from what I've outlined here. See you next time.